Okay. So welcome to your Superflow practice with me today. So just take a seated position as we always begin the practice to ground to begin. So sit comfortably any way you choose. Maybe walk the flesh of the sit bones out and ground down to the earth. Hands can be on the knees or at your heart center. Close down the eyes and start to check in with your inhalations and exhalations moving throughout the body. Have you rushed to take a seat here, and is your breath racing? Is your heart beating faster? Check in with those shoulders. Where are they? Are they up towards the ears, or are they floated down and relaxed? Nice broad chest. As we inhale in, imagine the diaphragm moving down and opening the chest up, allowing the breath to expand in all four quadrants of the lungs. Relax the breath. On your second breath, check in again, taking that long, deep inhalation in. As you breathe in through the nose, is the crown of the head reaching towards the sky, nice long spine. And as you exhale out, release, soften, relax into the seated pose. Breathe in deeply through the nose. Feel the chest expand, open. With an open mouth, send all breath out. Hands at the heart center. Let's set an intention for bringing you to your mat today. And always remember to breathe comfort and peace into your body throughout the practice. We never want to be feeling any pain or uncomfortable to try and go deeper into a pose when your body's not ready and open for it. So check in with the ego today. Make sure you don't push past where the body needs to be, and enjoy the practice. Open the eyes, place the hands onto the knees, and let's come to a cat-cow pose to start with, but just with a little difference today. We'll start off, before we move into cat-cow, reaching our hands out in front of us, opening our chest for anahata. So press the chest down between the hands, really send the tailbone up and away, and broaden through the chest as you press through towards the mat. Try and drag the fingertips with the open hands back a little bit so you're not dumping into the shoulders too much. Breathe into the belly and exhale, send all breath out. One more breath, then draw the hands a little closer underneath the shoulders. Knees are underneath the hips. You can have the feet curled under. But this time, just to start with today, as we're doing these nice, soft, fluid movements, I don't want you to do the curling of the spine. I want you to rotate the hips towards the left. So we're creating that sort of circular motion with the hips. So we're moving in an anti-clockwise motion at the moment. So just move freely however you want to move, and then go the other way in a clockwise motion, moving, circling, opening, releasing, creating that rotation, circular rotation with the hips, and then go the other way again. One more of these and move in your clockwise motion in the other direction. One more breath as you circle around one more time. Release the hands out in front of you and move back into your Anahata pose, pressing the chest between the arms, reaching the hands out in front of you, but gripping the mat with the fingertips as you draw back, as if your hands are stopping you from falling back towards the back of the mat, feeling that length in the arms, breadth and width in the shoulders, and breathe into the pose. Long, deep inhalations and exhalations, just like we began the practice. One more breath, and now let's come up. And we're going to sweep our hands up towards the sky. Sit down and press our arms out, open, wide, like our cactus arms. So we're sitting down onto our heels. If you need to, have a rolled up blanket underneath the knees, pressing up and reaching the hands up towards the sky. My hands are reached up like this towards the sky, and then as we sit down and back, we're cactusing our arms off and sitting down, feeling that length in the quads, the top of the quads. Send the chest away, chin up. Take a few breaths here. One more of these, reaching the hands up, sort of like this really wave action with the hands as you press the hips forward, chest forward, a little bit like a suspended camel pose. One more breath. Then this time sit down and sweep the hands behind you as you fold your forehead towards the mat. One more breath, coming up onto the knees. The knees are hip width distance, the feet are shoulder. Use that wave-like action as you press the hips forward, chest forward, cactus the arms. And this time, sweeping the hands behind you, floating them behind you, reaching up, forehead falls towards the mat. Take a couple of inhalations and exhalations here. One more of these, come up onto the knees, like that wave action, pressing the hips forward, and we want to cactus the arms. So we really want to reach the arms up, and we're taking any pressure off that lower back. So if you're dumping into your lower back, you really need to reach your arms up more, press your chest forward more so you're not putting any pressure on that lower back. Sweep down with the arms and allow them to sweep behind you. This time clasp the hands behind you and reach the arms up to open up the shoulders a little bit more. Keep breathing those long deep inhalations and exhalations in. Breathe long and deep, maybe an open mouth to exhale or breath out. One more breath, then come back up, hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. And this time we are going to move into our cat-cow. So we're inhaling, arching up, arching up, arching up. And then we're just coming to a tabletop, filling in that lower back with the breath, so breathe into the navel. Now we're going to lower the belly, move into cat-cows, lower the belly down, inhale in, curl the spine, broaden through the chest, look up. And then we're exhaling as we arch up that thoracic area, just like the cat, and drawing into the belly, just a nice soft gaze at the navel. One more of these, inhaling in, lowering the belly, broadening through the chest. And as you exhale, curl up with the spine, arching up, arching up. Lower the belly, broaden through the chest. One more into our cow pose. We're making our spine nice and flexible, waking it up, arch up for the third and final time. And then press back with into our child's pose, reaching our hands out in front of us and lower the forehead. Now you can have the knees quite close together. I know we normally do knees as wide as the mat, but if your knees are comfortable, you can do it this way. If they're not, you can bring the knees wider than the mat. So really press away with the fingertips and press back with the tailbone, feeling that length in the spine. One more breath, then come back up onto all fours. Let's come to a seated position onto our mats, sweeping our right foot to the outside of the left leg. Now you can start with a straight leg if you like. We're going to move into Gomukhasana pose. So take the fingertips behind you, and I want you to lift the buttocks up and sit over towards the left. If you're comfortable to sweep the left foot to the outside of the right thigh or hip, go for it. I want you to check in with your feet here. So support the right knee and make sure that that right foot is on the knife's edge of the foot and the toe is pressing. So they're quite, and the little toe side of the foot is quite engaged into the mat. Making sure that the left toes are quite strong as well. So again, maybe if you've moved into sweeping the left foot to the outside of the right leg, lift up again and sit over towards the left, so you ground down both sit bones. So you feel quite strong and grounded there. So let's support the right knee, and you can place the left hand on the foot. Just sit tall, crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Nice long spine as you inhale in. And I want you to float the arms up and let them sweep around. The right hand falls behind you up onto the fingertips. The left arm just presses gently into that right knee. So we're wanting to move, we're really moving that right knee across the body. But if your range of motion is that knee is up high, that's perfectly fine. Let's take a long deep inhalation in, and as you exhale, just look off towards the right, look over that right shoulder. So we want to be moving forward in this pose as well. So we don't want to be leaning back, so we want to move forward. So as we move forward, we want to press that right hip down, then press it back, and then out towards the right. So you really feel that opening in that right hip area. Breathe into it. One more breath. Let's take that inhalation in, and as we exhale, float the arms to either side. And let's swing our legs out wide into our wide leg seated forward fold. So press the fingertips nice and wide behind you. Press them into the floor or mat. So we're coming off our mat a little bit today, so hopefully you have the space there. So nice and tall, just moving into this wide leg seated forward fold. So we can stay right here. We're not going to move any deeper today. So as you inhale in, grow tall. As you exhale, send those sit bones back and away. And really breathe into the inner legs here. Just keep taking those long, deep inhalations and exhalations. We want to press the toes away. So press the toes away. So when you press the toes away, you create length in the legs. We've got nice strong arms because you're pressing into the mat behind you, but make sure your fingertips are comfortable. Just come up onto the fingertips. We're not forcing anything. One more breath, and we're going to go into a little bit of a challenge because we're going to go into wild things. So we're going to leave the left leg where it is, and we're going to take our right foot, we're going to draw it up so the knee is up. So we're going to take the left fingertips behind us. We're going to go slow for the first one. So we're going to point those left toes away as we lift the hips up and allow the right arm to fall down behind you as you open up into your wild thing. Keep breathing, keep shining the heart towards the sky. One more breath, and let's float down slowly, slowly, allowing the hips to fall, or the sit bones, to fall toward the earth. We're sweeping our right hand out as the right knee falls to the earth. We're sweeping the left foot to the outside of the right knee. So we're now coming into our Adha Matsyendrasana. We can wrap the right arm around the left knee, or if you have a little bit more opening, you can float the right arm to the outside of the knee. So I want you to use those fingertips behind you, sit up and off towards the right. Again, we want to press down with this left sit bone. We want to press it back and out towards the left. So breathe into that opening, and we just soft gaze looking off towards the left. So really breathe into those belly organs there, helping our digestive system with this twist, but we're feeling this beautiful opening in this outer left hip flesh. Breathe into that juicy feeling. So we're sort of doing a bit of a rotation around the whole mat with this practice. One more breath, and let's release out of the pose. We're going to take our fingertips behind us, bring our knees up and unfold, place the feet onto the mat, and our hands are behind us and our fingertips are pressing towards the buttocks. So we're going to move into a pose called tabletop. So we're going to press up with the pelvis, and we're going to move into our tabletop and release the head towards the back of the mat. So this like reverse tabletop with the belly up. So if you're feeling uncomfortable anyway, please come down, but this nice strong arms here. Feet planted to the earth, keep breathing. Head falls back. Relax into the pose. Strong legs. And one more breath. Let's float the buttocks down towards the earth. And we're going to roll down onto our backs. So with this pose, we're going to bring our knees into the chest. Now a couple of options here. We're going to go into our shoulder stand. Now if you're not comfortable doing this, and if you have any issues with your neck or you're in a rolly anchorage, maybe just stay here and roll around clockwise, anti-clockwise, or you can rest in any pose you choose, or rest in Shavasana. But what I want you to do is rock the body forward if you're going to move into this pose, and support the lower back with the arms. And we're going to press the toes up towards the sky. So some of us might look like this. So we're just not so far up off the shoulders, that's perfectly fine, and your neck is totally relaxed. If you want to float the feet behind you a little bit, you can do that, pointing the toes away. But the big thing here is if your neck is in any problem whatsoever, please come out of it. Or if you're quite familiar with this pose and you want to come up a little higher onto the shoulders, come up onto the shoulders. Keep breathing. Pointing the toes away if you're comfortable with that. Now we're really getting into our belly organs and our thyroid area in this pose as well. So just play with it. If there's any tension on the neck, please don't persevere. roll out. One more breath, chin to chest. And we're going to place the fingertips onto the earth. And we're going to roll down slowly, slowly, slowly with the hands resting underneath on the lumbar area. And we're going to press the toes away. We're coming into our fish pose. So we're coming up onto our elbows. And we're going to press the chest up towards the sky. And the head falls away. So just imagine yourself like a fish floating in the ocean. Breathe into it, open, expansive of the chest and the neck. So really pressing up towards the sky, really feeling that fullness in the chest. Strong legs as the toes point away. It's a great opening too if you're having any breathing issues or asthma. One more breath, then allow the whole body to float down towards the sky, towards the mat I should say. Release the hands, bring the knees into the chest. We're going to roll around clockwise, anti-clockwise, give the lumbar area a nice little massage, and then swing the legs up towards the sky, holding on to the big toes, or you might need a strap to hold on if you can't reach the toes, or hold on to the sides of the feet, because we really don't want to have the buttocks up high like this. We want to have it pressed down towards the mat. Whole tailbone resting on the mat. The knees are tracking towards the shoulders. And breathe into this inner opening. Really press away with the tailbone. Taking those long, deep inhalations and exhalations. One more breath. And let's take the right foot and place it just below the left knee as you reach through the gap you created in the legs. And we're moving into our supine pigeon. So spread both toes to engage the muscles of the legs. You feel relaxed with the whole spine, tailbone again, all the way pressing towards the mat. Nice long spine. And draw that left knee towards the chest. And start to feel that openness in the right side of the body. Keep those long, deep inhalations and exhalations going. Send some kindness to your body. Feel that opening, that release. Couple more breaths. Then release the legs, knees into the chest. And we're going to just do a rocking motion forward as you swing the legs forward. We're going to press our hands away, a clearing action with the hands, letting go of any issues in the tissues you may be holding. So this time we're moving into our Gomukhasana on the other side with the left foot is sweeping over towards the right, and the right leg is out straight if you want to have the right leg straight. So using the fingertips behind you, you want to sit up and off towards the left, or towards the right I should say, towards the right. And we're going to use those floating actions of the arms as we sweep them around if you can. And the left fingertips are behind you. Otherwise, you can send that right arm forward and wrap it around that left knee. I want you to use that left sit bone. I want you to press it down, back and out. So really feel that opening, and remember we're moving forward in this pose, we're not leaning backwards. So really feel that opening in that left side. Grow tall with the spine, crown of the head towards the sky. Remembering both feet are engaged, they're planted into the mat as you gaze over the left shoulder. Always keeping our toes strong so they're our support and our spine long. Breathe into the gentle twist in the digestive system there. Remember not to force to look over that left shoulder. We don't want to upset the neck. It's just a nice soft gaze. Keep smiling. And one more breath. Float the hands behind you, up onto the fingertips. Lean back and open the legs into your wide legs, seated forward fold. So we're doing all these poses on the other side now. So hopefully if you watched the 8-minute flow, and if you haven't watched the 8-minute flow maybe, and you're doing this today and feeling this is a little bit of a challenge, practice to the 8-minute one, and once you do that one and incorporate all this together, it'll all come together. So we're just still moving, although some of the poses are a little bit more advanced. They're gentle and we're moving into them slowly. So remember to press the toes away. So point the toes away, engage the muscles of the legs. Really use those fingertips to move the body forward as the sit bones move back. And one more breath. So this time we're doing wild thing with the left foot drawing forward. So left fingertips behind you. I'm going to sweep the hands around as we lift the left hip, or the hips up towards the sky. So really pointing, drawing the foot in towards the groin area. And maybe you can't, maybe you're just going to use that sweeping action and stay right here if you can't lift the hips up. But if you can, we're going to really point those right toes away and come up into our wild thing. Keep breathing, keep shining the heart towards the sky. And as we come back down, we're sweeping the hand down, the left knee falls towards the earth as we're taking our right foot around and we're moving into our Adha Matsyendrasana on the other side. So use the right fingertips behind you to sit up and over towards the left to ground both sit bones. Either wrap the arm, or remember the bottom leg can be straight. You don't have to have that foot over towards the right hip. All going to be different. Now you might want to challenge yourself and see if you can today, but make sure you feel comfortable. So really pressing forward again. Really pressing down and out and opening up, feeling that release. Keep breathing into it. And one more breath and releasing out of the pose. And we're going to bring our feet down towards the earth. Our fingertips are behind us. And we're going to move into our reverse tabletop, pressing the hips up towards the sky, dropping the head, relaxing and breathing. Remembering always your heart is the light of this world. Don't cover it up with your mind. So feel strong. Keep breathing. Lift the hips up maybe a little higher. Won't keep you here much longer. One more breath and lower down all the way towards the mat. whole body rests onto the mat. Bring the knees into the chest. You can roll around clockwise, anti-clockwise, giving the lumbar a nice little massage there. And we're going to bring our feet up into the sky and just move into happy baby for a little bit there to release the lower back. And taking our left ankle below that right knee, reach through the gap you created for our supine pigeon. Open the toes up nice and wide, drawing that right knee towards the chest. And this side a little different sequence. We're doing the supine pigeon before the halasana, the shoulder pose or the fish pose. One more breath and let's release. Now we're going to move into our shoulder stand. So if you're not feeling comfortable with this, just rest in Shavasana or child's pose, whatever you like, but we're sweeping the feet up towards the sky. So we're supporting the lower back, coming up onto the shoulders. You can always use a blanket in this pose, like if you had a folded blanket to support the neck. Remembering, if you're not feeling comfortable, come out of it. Or if you feel comfortable and you want to sweep the feet behind you to get into the thyroid and the belly organs, go for it. Really engage the toes. Keep breathing, or stay up high if you want to stay up high. Breathing, one more breath. Roll down slowly, fingertips onto the mat. We're going to roll down slowly until the lower back releases onto the hands, coming up onto the forearms. We're going to press the chest up as the toes press away and drop the head back. Moving into our fish pose. Keep breathing. Really press up, open, expand, breathe into that opening of the chest area. And neck. Legs are strong. Feel some sukha, some comfort in the pose. One more breath. And let's roll down all the way as we swing the knees into the chest and up for happy baby pose. Holding on to the sides of the feet, long spine. So remember, you can always use a strap in this pose, or you can hold on to the toes. If you can't hold the sides of the feet, there's all different hand actions, but we don't want your buttocks up here like this. We want it to be long along the mat. So use those tools, fingers or straps, to change position. So you really get the benefit out of the pose of opening up those inner legs, outer hips. Keep breathing into the pose. One more breath. And let's bring the knees into the chest and rock the body forward and press away with the hands, releasing, letting go of anything that no longer serves you. And now let's move and roll over onto our backs. And we're going to do a couple of crocodile poses. Changing position. I might change this way so that you can see me. So right forearm, left forearm stacks on top of each other. Legs are as wide, or wider than the mat, I should say, and lower the forehead. So really release the belly into the mat and feel the lower back release. So if we created any lower back issues or any little bit of tension, we want to release that all out with our breath. So take a long, deep inhalation in through the nose here. Breathe it in fully, expanding the belly underneath you, feeling like that balloon action as it fills up. And then long and deep, open the mouth, release all breath out as the belly deflates and lower back releases. So relax the breath. So let go of any tightness you're feeling in the body. Use the breath and your relaxation to let it all go, release. One more of these. Inhale in deeply, long and deep. Breathe it in. Feel that belly expand, and then exhale, send all breath out. Let it go. Relax the breath. Inhale in deeply, long and deep. Feel the belly. And breathe it all out. Long and deep. Let it all go. So just for a difference today, we're going to use crocodile pose as one of the last poses in the practice. So just relax and breathe, resting in this pose. Really concentrate on that lower back, releasing, letting go. Maybe you might want to do a few more belly breaths in and releasing out on your own. So scan your body and notice how it feels after this practice, being a little bit more challenging and a different way of moving. And when you're ready, just make your way back up to a seated position. Sitting comfortably any way you choose. Close down the eyes. Nice long spine. And let's check back with our intention you made at the beginning of the practice. Bring the hands to the heart center. And let's finish today's practice with our Nadi breath, raising the right hand up, curling the 3 middle fingers, right thumb over the right side of the nose. As you take a long, deep inhalation in through the left side. Seal with the little finger, send all breath out through the right. As you inhale in through the right, seal with the thumb, breathe all breath out through the left. Inhale in through the left side. Seal with the little finger, breathe all breath out through the right. Last one in through the right. And breathe breath out through the left. Hands back to the heart center or on your knees. As I mentioned throughout the practice today, and one of my favorite sayings that I say and quote a lot, Your heart is the light of this world. Don't cover it up with your mind. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. Taking your hands to the third eye for right thoughts, to the heart, and bowing. Namaste. Have a beautiful day or evening whenever you're practicing to this lovely practice. If you've joined me today, thank you very much. Or enjoy the recording and take this feeling that you feel inside out into the world today and share it with others.